Hi students, in this video I am going to explain you about properties of determinants. Okay. Okay. Before going to properties of determinants, let us know what are rows and columns. These horizontal lines, these are called rows R1, R2, R3 and R4, and vertically vertically these straight lines are called columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Understood students? So let us now see the properties of determinants. So let us see the first property students. Suppose I have a determinant A is equal to A1, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3 and C1, C2, C3. So now what I am going to do is, I am going to interchange all the rows and columns. So I am going to interchange all the rows and columns. So A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3 and C1, C2, C3 here. See, I have interchanged all the rows and columns now. So, if you do like this, the value of determinant does not change. The value of determinant do not change. Okay. It remains same. Understood students? Okay. This is about the first property. If you change both rows and columns, as I have shown on the screen, the value of determinant do not change. It remains same. Understood students? Now let us see the second property. Okay. See, again I am taking the determinant A, that is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3 and C1, C2, C3. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to change only two rows and columns. Only two rows I am going to change. Or any two rows or two columns. Any two, not all. Only two, not all. Okay. So then its value will be a negative of. Its value will be a negative of. See, I am going to change the two rows now. Okay. So I am going to change this row here and this row here. Okay. So A2, B2, C2, A1, A1, B1, C1, A3, B3, C3. Okay, then the value of determinants changes to a negative sign. Understood students? Changing any two rows or two columns. Okay, the result will be negative sign. Okay, take negative outside over. Okay, this is about property 2. Now let us see about property 3. So what is the third property we are going to see here? I am going to explain the third property here. Suppose I have a determinant A, that is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Okay. Now this value becomes 0 when, suppose chain. Now, suppose I have two rows or two columns identical. Okay, suppose I have column 1 is identical to column 2. Column 1 is identical to column 2 means what? So where are the columns? These are the columns. So column 1 and column 2. Suppose these two are identical means here I am having A1, A2, A3 and here also I am having A1, A2, A3. Okay. And this one same. Then its value becomes 0. Its values become 0. So this is the identical symbol. So any two rows or columns, okay, are identical means are same, then the value of determinant is 0. Did you understand, students? Okay. Any two rows or two columns are identical, then the value of the determinant will be 0. This is the third property. Okay. Now let us take the fourth property. So let us see the fourth property, students. Now property 4, students. Suppose I have a determinant and what I am going to do is I have a determinant and I am multiplying a number constant with A1, A2 and A3. These remain same B1, B2, B3 and C1, C2, C3. Okay. Now what happens is the value of determinant will be multiplied by that constant K. Okay. So what is the fourth property? Any row or column is multiplied by a constant, then the value of determinant is also multiplied by the same constant. Okay. Okay, students. So whatever you do, you multiply, add, subtract, divide. So the same thing is done with the final answer of the determinant. Okay, this is property 4. Okay. Now coming to property 5. Now coming to property 5. Now I have a determinant. Property 5. Now I am having a determinant and I am adding numbers to the elements of first row. Okay. B1 plus D2, B2, B3, C1 plus D3, C2, C3. Okay. So what I have done here is I have added some numbers to the first row. A1 plus D1, B1 plus D2 and C1 plus D3. Then we can take this determinant as sum of two determinants. We can take this determinant as sum of two determinants, that is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 plus So what we have added for the first row? D1, D2, D3. Understood? The remaining are same. Did you understand, students? Check carefully, observe the content carefully. Okay. If we add different numbers with the elements of a determinant of any row or any column, we can express it as the sum of two determinants of the same order. Okay. Sum of two determinants. Okay. Of same order. Okay. Order must be same. Okay. This is about property 5. Did you understand, students? Now, property 6, students. Suppose I have a determinant A, and what I am going to do with this determinant, observe carefully, students. The elements are A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Now what I am going to do is, I am adding two rows, that is A1 with second row with a constant multiplied with second row. Okay. Okay. Next here B1 plus K into B2 and C1 plus K into C2. Okay. And this is A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. So what I have done is R1, 2, KR2 I have done. Okay. So here I have done R1 to R1 plus KR2. So the resultant I have written in the first row itself. Understood? Then what will happen to its value? What will happen to its value is, okay. So if you add, we will get the sum of two determinants here as explained in the previous property. Okay. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 plus we have to express this in the form of sum of two determinants, right? Here this will be KA2, KB2 and KC2 and these remain same A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Now what is going to happen is the value of this determinant does not change and the final answer will be the same determinant itself and the final answer will be the same determinant itself. Did you understand, students? Okay. Plus this becomes k of 0. Understood? Finally we got the same determinant. So what we are going to do here is we have added a constant to second row and again we have added that result to the first row. Okay, then what happened is the value of this determinant does not change, it remains same. This is about the sixth property. Did you understand, students? Now we are going to see the next property, students, that is property number 7. Okay. Here I am going to take a determinant. Okay. Let us take a determinant. Here 1, 1, 1, A, B, C, A square, B square, C square. I have taken this determinant and now suppose we are taking A is equal to B. If A is equal to B, then A minus B is the factor of determinant. Okay. So if A is equal to B, then A minus B is the factor of this determinant. Okay. So what will happen? Let us check here. If A is equal to B, what happened here? This becomes 1A B. Sorry. So in place of A, we have to write B. Okay. B, B square. 1b square, 1c square. Here what is happening? Column 1 is identical to column 2. Okay. Then a minus b is the factor. Okay, students. And now if any two rows or any two columns are identical, then what will be its value? Its value becomes 0. Okay. And its factor is a minus b. Understood, students? So here are the 7 properties I have explained according to the determinants. So try to understand carefully. If at all you have doubts, you can message me in the comment box of this video, students. Okay. If you really understand all these properties, do like, share and subscribe. Okay. Share to all your friends. Subscribe. Thank you.